Okay, as promised, I'm going to go over the study guide. Um, Most of these you should already be able to do. Number one um, says, what's the solution? The solution, remember, is where the lines intersect. And they intersect at 1, 2, 3, where x is 3 and y is 1. So we go start at the origin, go here and down here. All right, we went over this one. If they have different slopes, that's the key. Doesn't matter what the intercepts are. If they have different slopes, it has one system. Remember, same slope, I'm just going to abbreviate, and same y-intercept. We're talking about y equals mx plus b. B is the y-intercept, m is the slope. That's infinite solutions and same slope and different uh, y-intercepts. That's a no solution, or you can put the null set. And different slopes is always one solution. This one says solve the system of equations by substitution. Now, in a sports game, if you're going to substitute somebody, that person goes out. So y is equal to negative 3x. I'm going to substitute it there for y. So y goes out of the game. Okay, so I have x plus 4, y equals 33. So right here where I have the 3x, I'm going to put that where y is. So y leaves the court. We put the negative 3x in there. Now we're going to multiply 4 times negative 3x, which is a negative 12x. And we don't need that plus there. But you can leave it there. It doesn't matter. And that's equal to 33. X minus 12x is minus 11x, or x plus a negative 12x is negative 11x. And you can put 1 plus a negative 12 in your calculator. Divide both sides by 11, and x is equal to a negative 3. Now, we're not done. We also need to find y, because remember, the solution to an ordered pair is, to a system of equations is an ordered pair. So we have this one already solved for y, so let's use this one. So y equals a negative 3 times x. So y is equal to a negative 3 times a negative 3, because right here, x is a negative 3, and that's what we put right there. This is multiplication, and y is a positive 9. Now, how do I write my answer? Like this, and we're going to put a box around it so I don't have to hunt all over the page for it. Okay, this has one solution right here. This is the same line, so it's infinite solutions. And these lines never intersect because they're parallel, no solution. What is the solution to this system? It's already graphed for us. So all we have to do is read it off of the, I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger so we can see. So I'm gonna start here at my x-axis and go here. That's a negative 4. And then up here, and I read it off of my y-axis, that's 3. So my solution is negative 4, 3. Remember, if it's not in parentheses, it's wrong. And if you don't put a comma between your numbers, it's wrong. Don't put a dot or anything else, put a comma. All right, solve by substitution. When we have both equations solved for y, it's just simple to just set them equal to each other. So I can take this and substitute it here. And then I just solve like normal. Subtract 3x from each side. I don't need to slow down for solving equations. 9 minus 3 is 6. Bring down that negative 12. Divide both sides by 6, and x is equal to a negative 2. And then we can take that and plug it into either one of these equations. I'm going to take the simplest looking one, and I'm going to substitute this right here, remembering that this is multiplication. My ordered pair, same thing. I'm going to take 2x and I'm going to put it here for y. Now I'm going to use this equation to find my y value. Now that I found x, I'm going to substitute this right here. And even when you do the elimination method, which we don't do in 8th grade, you'll do it next year. Once you find one of your variables, you still have to go substitute it into one of your equations. So it's good to get fluent in substitution. Again, answer as an ordered pair, put them in parentheses. If you want to check your answer, plug both numbers back in. Y equals negative 2x, 20 equals 2 times negative 10, negative 20 equals negative 20, and that's a check. So if you want to check your answer. Or you can also put your x value into the other equation and see if you get the same thing. So it says consider the system. What is the solution? We have to do substitution. We know it's substitution because this is already solved for y. So we're going to take this value and put it right here. And remember, when we substitute, y goes out of the game. So y is equal to, that's wrong. I'm substituting it here. So x plus 4 times y, and y is 2x plus 8. So remember, take the y out of the game, equals 50. And then we're going to use the distributive property here. 9x plus 32 equals 50. Subtract 32 from each side. 10 minus 2 is 8. 4 minus 3 is 1. 9x equals 18. So x is equal to 2. Well, that's not my final answer. Then I'm going to substitute that into this equation that's already solved for y. 2 times 2. Now, some of you did this. No, if that were true, this would be the equation. Original equation would look like that. That's not what it's saying. You only multiply the 2 times the x value that you just found. So this is 4 plus 8, which is 12. Box around it so I can see the answer. Make sure it's got to be in parentheses. You got to have a comma between them. This one is simple. One line passes through this point, these 2 points. One line passes through these 2 points. Determine if it has no solution. 0, 5, which is the y-intercept. 2, 4. 2, 4. Draw your line. 1, 2. And 0, negative 3. Draw your line. So they intersect one time. They're not asking us what the solution is. So it intersects one time. So, or intercepts. They intercept in one spot. Okay. This one says, what is the first step you should perform in using the substitution method to solve the following system equation? I got 2 answers from my students. One student said, take 6x plus 3 and substitute. I'm going to just abbreviate substitute and sub into the second equation for y. Other students said she just took this and said 4x minus 2 times 6x plus 3 equals 10. Notice it did not ask you to solve it. Either one of these are correct. Okay. Now, if you're not good with words, do the equation, all right? If you're not good with equations, do the word. Solve the system of equations and write the solution as an ordered pair. I'm just looking to see how many dots I need to do. So here, the y-intercept is 1, and my slope is 1 over 5. So I'm going to go up 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's my first line. That is not the shape I want. I don't want a square. I want a line. Okay. Okay. Now my next one, my y-intercept is 7. Okay, I don't want that right there. And make this a little bigger so y'all can see it. The y-intercept is 7, and my slope is a negative 1. So that's down 1 and over 1. And I'm going to keep going. What I do when I draw by hand, I keep going until I intercept my next line. Now you're going to use a ruler, but my interception is 5, 2. My solution, over to 5, up to 2. Now, if your graph is correct and you write this number wrong, I'm going to give you half credit. If your graph is incorrect and this number is right, don't play in my face, y'all. Don't play in my face. Don't do that. Okay. The word problem we did go over in class, but I want to go over it again. I don't like these colors. I'll figure out how to change them. Okay, Ben scored twice as many free throws as Nate. Together, they scored 24 points. How many points did Ben score and how many points did Nate score? A block, I forgot this question here. I did not answer this question. So I hope you all figured that out. But there are actually two questions here, this one and this one. So we need Ben and Nate. All right. So Ben scored twice as many free throws as Nate. So you got to set your variables first. Make Ben X and make Nate Y. Why? Because Ben is first, Nate is second. Simplest thing to do. First thing says Ben scored twice as many free throws as Nate. So Ben scored X free throws, and which was equal to 2 times Nate's. Okay, so X equals 2Y. Then it said together they scored 24 points. Y'all figured this out perfectly. X plus Y equals 24. Now we're going to solve by substitution. I'm going to take this and substitute it here. So that's going to be 2Y plus Y equals 24. I substituted 2Y for X. 3Y equals 24. Divide both sides by 3. Y is equal to 8. So that's Nate. Okay. Now, Ben, let's go back here. X equals 2Y, 2 times Y. So X equals 2 times 8. And so X is equal to 16. Well, we already know Ben is twice as many. So Nate, 8 points. And you need to write their names. And Ben, 16 points. You answer a word problem with words. And again, I'm not going to go and try to figure out, well, which one did they make X and which one did they make Y, and let me figure out the answer. Y'all know Miss Sledge not going to do all of that, so write it out for me. And it's the proper way to do math anyway. Okay, this one. So this first equation, my y-intercept is 1, and my slope is 1. So I can go up 1 and over 1, and then I'm going to go down and back. I can go 1 over 1, or I can go -1 over -1. Both of those are positive. That's perfectly fine to do. Just helps me draw my line. Let me make that a little thicker too, so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so that's that line. Okay, now my next one, um, my y-intercept is -6, right there. And my slope is -5/2. But look, I can't go down 5 on this graph. So my slope is -5/2, which is also equal to 5/2. So use that manipulation and your knowledge of positive and negative numbers to work these out. So I can go up 5 and to the left 2 instead of down 5 and to the right 2. I'm on the same line. So up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then to the left 2. I am right there. I am golden. Let me see if I can turn my light back on. Didn't work. Oh, it did. Okay. And I'm going to draw my line. And you see my intersection is there at -2, -1. And now let me do the last one. This is my granddaughter calling, so hold on just a second. Let me pause. Okay, now for this last one, make it a little smaller. It says solve the system and write as an ordered pair. So my y-intercept is 1, and my slope is 1. So up 1, over 1. And then I'm going to put some here. So I can go down 1 and back 1. and then draw my line. Okay, then the next one, my y-intercept is a -5, and then my slope is a -2. So I can go down to and over one. So I can do this, or I can do this. Both of those are the same number. So I can go up 2 and back 1. And I do that because I see I need to go in that direction to reach my line. Oops. Let me move that a little bit. Right. Okay, now I intercept. This one also is -2, -1. All right, hope this helps. Please study for this test.